Hi my dear students, in this video we are going to learn about accounting of reserves, accumulated profits and losses. So you have to have the clear cut understanding about what is the reserve and what is accumulated profits and losses. So let's discuss about one by one what's the meaning of reserves first ever. So do you know what is the reserve? It is not in specific, but we allotted some money to meet out future contingency. If any contingencies or unexpected liabilities arise in the future, we will suffer losses. So, to meet out this kind of situation, we are allotting some amount of profit, some amount from profit, isn't it? So, in grade 11 itself you have studied about that reserves, depreciation, reserves and provisions. So, what is reserve? It is not specific in nature. Provisions means, what is the meaning of provisions? Provisions for bad debts, provisions for doubtful debts, provisions for depreciation. So this and all we have studied. What's the meaning of provisions? It is specific in nature. It's known fact. From the profit, especially for meet out debtors, bad debtors, especially to meet out the situation for depreciation, we are allotting some amount, that is provisions. So it is entirely different, reserves and provisions. And what is accumulated profit? So many years we are adding the profit, but we did not distribute it. It is undistributed profit is called accumulated profit. Or undistributed loss is accumulated losses. What is that undistributed? Undistributed means we did not distribute to the partners as per their profit and loss sharing ratio, isn't it? So past 5 years we are running the business, but we did not share the profit for the partners. So in that situation, that all the amount of profits will be called as accumulated profit or undistributed profit. If any losses arise in the business, but business wanted to continue fairly for a long period of time for the situation, in that situation we are thinking about future. In the future definitely this business will get profit, so we can compensate these losses after get the profit, so we can accumulate these all the losses. Likewise, for the purpose of getting profit in the future, at present we couldn't meet out that liability. That liabilities we are having, we are accumulating. That all the liabilities are accumulated liabilities. So whatever it is, these all those things will be shared by chance if the situation may or may not arise. So in that situation, that all the profits or loss or reserves, provisions, whatever it is, that everything will be shared as per the partners profit and loss sharing ratio to the partners capital account. If it is losses, it will be debited to partners capital account. If it is profit, it will be credited to the partners. If any reserves, that reserves will be transferred to partners capital account, credit side. So let's discuss one by one. Accounting of reserves. So you have clear idea about what is the reserve and accumulated profit and losses. If at the time of change in profit and loss sharing ratio, when it will occur? At the time of change in profit and loss sharing ratio. Accumulated profits and losses exist. Accumulated profit and losses exist in the books of the firm. They are transferred to partners capital account if it is fixed capital account, in current account if it is fluctuating capital account, partners capital account, isn't it? But they are using only old profit and loss sharing ratio, because reserves, accumulated undistributed profit or loss on the date of change in profit and loss sharing ratio were earned before the reconstitution of firm. So you have to have idea about it in your brain before reconstitution of the partnership firm, which means before calculate new profit sharing ratio. Before calculate new profit sharing ratio, we allotted some amount for specific or unspecific. Can you understand what I am saying? To meet out future loss or to meet out future contingencies, we are allotting some amount from the profit already. So when firm will reconstitute? During admission, retirement, death, or sometimes that new profit and loss sharing ratio they may calculate, isn't it? When they are calculating, somebody is maybe doing their work very effectively and efficiently to the favor for the business, and they may spend more time favor for the business. In that situation, that particular partner may ask to increase their profit and loss sharing ratio, isn't it? What I am trying to say. So in that situation, that new profit and loss sharing ratio, they will work it out. So at that time, they will distribute that undistributed profit or accumulated profit or reserves or any provisions, whatever it is, it will be distributed to partners capital account. It will be transferred to partners capital account. But they will use only old profit sharing ratio. Why they are using old profit sharing ratio? For the purpose that existing partners, they earned and they compensated, they worked favor for the organization before calculate that new profit sharing ratio. So that all the items, that all the reserves, all the provisions, all the accumulated reserves or accumulated profit or accumulated losses, everything is happened before calculate new profit sharing ratio. You have to keep it in your mind. For that purpose only we are using existing profit and loss sharing ratio, which means before reconstitution of the firm. Can you understand why they are using this old profit and loss sharing ratio? So let's discuss one by one. What is journal entry? By chance, if that reserve is transferred to, accumulated profit is transferred to partners, or accumulated loss is transferred to partners, one by one we can discuss. First journal entry says transfer of reserves and accumulated profits. Transfer of reserves and accumulated profits. So reserves means, for unknown facts, we allotted some amount of profit. We allotted some amount from profit to meet our future contingencies, but it's not specific in nature. So that resource we are going to transfer, and accumulated profit. So many years we did not distribute the profit to the partners. So all the profits are accumulated. First year 10 lakh rupees, second year 3 lakh rupees, third year 20 lakh rupees, fourth year 1 crore rupees, like this. So many years profit is accumulated. These all the profits and the reserves is transferred to partners capital account. So what are the reserves? Reserves, general reserve it is, and profit and loss account, credit balance, which means profit and loss account. Profit and loss account. It is under profit and loss account. It is debit side, it is credit side. If debit side is excess than the credit side, debit side is excess than the credit side, that is net loss. It will be called as debit balance of profit and loss account. Do you know, ever before, some students knows about it clearly. While you work it out, profit and loss account, you might have heard these words from your teacher. What is net loss? That is debit balance of profit and loss account. In the opposite situation, if credit side of profit and loss account is excess than the debit side of profit and loss account, that is net profit. This net profit means credit balance, because credit side is excess. That's why it will be called as credit balance. Can you understand why they are saying it is debit balance net loss, and why they are saying that credit balance is net profit? Okay, I hope you understood. And so now they mentioned here credit balance of profit and loss account. So credit balance of profit and loss account means net profit, and workman compensation is specific reserve. Specifically they allotted some money from past profit to meet out future contingencies like workman compensation, especially for workman compensation. By chance, if any workman met an accident, that firm has to compensate, isn't it? For the purpose of compensating to the workers during work hours, they are allotting some money from past profit to meet out future workman contingencies, isn't it? And investment fluctuation reserve. Investment fluctuation reserve. What is investment fluctuation reserve? We are investing some amount, but they are not requiring the same amount every month. For an example, you take LIC. Your father or mother, they might have having the policy in LIC and Peerless or some other investing fund like mutual fund or any shares, whatever it is. So that concern, that LIC or whatever the organization it is, they will not ask same amount every month. Sometimes that amount will be less, sometimes that amount will be more, but slightly it will differ, isn't it? So it is a business in nature. What will happen? It may increase or decrease. That investment fluctuation, that investment will fluctuate. We are expecting next month we are going to pay only 3 lakh rupees as an investment in some other company shares or any government resource, whatever it is. We may buy some treasury bill, whatever it is. For the situation we are allotting, but requiring amount is 3 lakh and 10,000. So what will happen? Some fluctuation is there in the fund, isn't it? At the same, it may be less also. To meet out these kind of contingencies, they are allotting investment fluctuation fund. So you have to know the meaning of this, all those things. For that purpose only I am saying you. And resource. Resource means, I told you, it is not in specific, but here it is specific reserve. What is that? Workman compensation and investment fluctuation fund. General reserve means it is not in specific, isn't it? And profit and loss account, credit balance means net profit. So these all the items will be credited to partner's capital account. Excess of reserve over liability, excess of reserve over difference between book value and market value as per old profit sharing ratio, it will be transferred to partner's capital account. What is that excess of liability, sir? Actually, workman compensation we allotted some amount, that is 10 lakh rupees. But hospital, one employee met an accident, hospital is asking 8 lakh rupees. So after settle this 8 lakh rupees, we are having 2 more lakhs. These 2 more lakhs will be distributed to the partners as per their old profit and loss sharing ratio. We will discuss one by one clearly, okay? For transfer of accumulated losses. So, sir, we have discussed about profit. Profit means it is distributed to the partners as per their old profit and loss sharing ratio, and it will be credited to partners capital account. We are understood, sir. And what about the losses? So losses means what will happen? It will be debited to partners capital account. So losses or deferred revenue expenditure, fictitious in nature like advertisement or any suspense account in the business. So that will be debited to partners capital account. So partners capital account debit to that particular items, like if it is profit and loss, debit balance, which means net loss, that situation. What will happen? That accumulated losses or net loss, whatever it is, will be debited to partners capital account. I hope you understand. And next is what we are going to discuss. One by one, very clearly we are going to discuss. So first, our workman compensation reserve. What is workman compensation reserve? Let's discuss what is workman compensation reserve. Workman compensation reserve is a reserve that is appropriated out of firm's profit to meet possible liability on account of compensation to employees. An account of compensation to employees. If it arises, say for an accident, it means a claim may or may not arise. It also means that claim may be equal to or less or more than the amount of reserve at the time of change in profit and loss sharing ratio. It is treated as follows. Listen, workman compensation reserve is a reserve. It's a kind of reserve set aside appropriated especially to meet a workman's diseases, else any accident. For that purpose, we allotted some fund out of firm's profit, from firm's profit, to meet out possible liability in the future on account of compensation to employees. To whom we are going to compensate? Only for employees. These resources we will not set off with any other liability sources. If it arises, say for an example, it is an accident. If an employee, particular employee made an accident, so in that situation what they will do? If it means a claim may or may not arise, because accident may or may not. We cannot say definitely one employee will make an accident in this month or next year. But we are allotting some amount, fixed amount, especially to meet out that workman compensation. But it is may or may not arise. It means that claim may be equal to or less than or more than the reserve. So in this situation, one employee met an accident or may not. By chance that employee not met an accident, no employee met an accident. So in that situation, reserve amount will be transferred to partners capital account as per their old profit and loss sharing ratio. By chance if they are making new profit and loss sharing ratio, which means new deed or whatever it is in that situation. I hope you understand. Or other situation, another one, the case like we are allotting only 10 lakh rupees, but hospitality needs 11 lakh rupees for compensating worker. So in that situation, business suffers, isn't it? So that will be debited to revaluation account. So we will discuss one by one clearly. Or that may be equal. We are allotting only 10 lakh. Hospital also requiring only 10 lakh. So in that situation, we will discuss one by one. At the time of change in profit and loss sharing ratio, it is stated as follows. First situation, when claim against workman compensation reserve does not exist. It does not exist. So in this situation, what we will do? That entire amount will be distributed to partners' capital account as per their old profit and loss sharing ratio, isn't it? So in this situation, workman compensation reserve is transferred to partners' capital account in their old profit and loss sharing ratio. Why they are using old profit and loss sharing ratio? I told you already. And because no more requirements over here, no claims. So in this situation, and situation two is slightly different. That is when claim for workman compensation exists. When claim for workman compensation exists, some claims are there. So how that claims? Let's see one by one. In this situation, treatment of workman compensation claim will depend on the amount of liability. There are three possible situations. First situation is equal to. Equal to means how much amount we have as reserve. That amount, exactly that same amount, is needed to pay out liability. Which means, for an example, one worker met an accident during working hours. He loses his hand. To operate his hand, hospital is requiring 5 lakh rupees. But we allotted already. We are having as reserve in our hand is 5 lakh only. So that both the amounts are equal now. So no more amount will be transferred to partners' capital account. Why? Because we are not having any surplus amount. That all the amounts we have settled, we have set off, which means we given to that accidented workers, isn't it? In this case, total amount of workman compensation reserve is transferred to workman compensation claim account. Since the amount of workman compensation reserve and workman compensation claim are same, no amount is transferred to partners' capital account. The journal entry will be workman compensation reserve account debtor to workman compensation claim. Reserve means how much we are having in our hand. Claim means how much they needed, isn't it? Now it is less than. Claim is less than. Workman Workman's compensation claim is less than. So in this situation, that workman's compensation reserve, how much we are having, that amount is 5 lakh rupees. How much we need to pay, that amount, claim amount, is only 2 lakh rupees. For the same example, one workman met an accident during working hours. Hospital expenses he needed only for 2 lakh rupees, but we are having as reserve is 5 lakh rupees. So balance 3 lakh rupees will be transferred to partners' capital account as per their existing profit and loss sharing ratio, which means old profit and loss sharing ratio. I hope you understand. Journal entry for this problem, for the situation is, what is the journal entry? Workman's compensation reserve, how much we are having in our hand, that is reserve amount, and workman's compensation claim amount, as I told you, because reserve amount 5 lakh rupees. 5 lakh rupees reserve amount, but claim is only 2 lakh rupees. Balance 3 lakh rupees transferred to partners' capital account, isn't it? Then third situation like somewhat slightly differ. So in this situation, that requiring amount, claim amount is more than the reserve. We have reserve as only 5 lakhs. Same one worker met an accident. Hospital is asking to pay 7 lakh rupees, but we have only 5 lakh rupees as reserve. In this situation, in the case, the amount of workman compensation reserve together with the amount of claims in the excess reserve is credited to workman's compensation claim account. The amount of excess of reserve is debited to revaluation account. So now we need more amount because claim amount is excess. So that required amount will be debited to partner's revaluation account. That will be debited to partner's capital account. Revaluation loss will be debited to partner's capital account. So revaluation will be debited to revaluation account. The amount of excess reserve is debited to revaluation account, because the loss will be borne by all the partners as per their old profit and loss sharing ratio. See the situation, workmen's compensation reserve, how much we are having in our hand, that is only 5 lakh, and how much we need to pay, that is 7 lakh rupees to the hospital. So 2 more lakhs we needed. So this will be debited to revaluation account, isn't it? I hope you understand. So partners capital or current account will be debited to revaluation. So that is the next journal entry, isn't it? So as per their old profit and loss sharing ratio, these 2 lakh rupees will be splitted and given to existing partners as per their old profit and loss sharing ratio. So that amount will be debited to partners capital account. Okay, we can discuss this problem for your better understanding. Treatment of workmen compensation reserve. Treatment of workmen compensation reserve. A, B, C sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 4:3:2. They decided to share future profits and losses in the ratio of 2:3:1. With the effect from 1st April 2020, and extract of the balance sheet as at 31st March 2020. See, this balance sheet is 31st March 2020's balance sheet. Workmen compensation reserve, they are having only 90,000 rupees. So in the situation, this is the existing profit and loss sharing ratio, which means old profit and loss sharing ratio, and it is new profit and loss sharing ratio. So they have decided to change the profit and loss sharing ratio as at when 1st April 2020 onwards. Okay. So when no information as to claim is given, no information means nothing is mentioned. So entire amount will be transferred to partner's capital account when there is no claims, which means we allotted some money but no claims, or no information as to claim is given, that is different, and no claims, nobody met an accident. So in that situation, and when a claim and account of workman compensation is 45,000, which means less than that, we have already reserved 90,000. Here only 45,000 recovering, balance 45,000 will be transferred to partner's capital account. Next, when claim account workman compensation is 99,000, which means more than this. So in this situation, that 9,000 will be debited to revaluation account. Again, it will be debited to partner's capital account, isn't it? Next, when a claim and account of workman compensation 90,000, same, how much we are having reserve, that same reserve only. So in that situation, that entire amount will be transferred to workman's claims account, reserve to claim. So no more account will be transferred to partner's capital account. Okay, so we will discuss one by one problem. These are all the 5 situations. So situation 1. Situation 1, when no information as to claim is given. So what we will do, the entire amount, especially for claims, they did not give any information. Okay, in that situation, what we will do, that all the amount 90,000 will be transferred to partner's capital account as per their existing profit and loss sharing ratio. What is the existing profit and loss sharing ratio? 4:3:2. So 4 by 10, 3 by 10, 4 by 9, 3 by 9, 2 by 9. In this ratio we will do. So workman's compensation reserve account debtor, workman's compensation reserve account debtor 90,000, and the partners are A, B, C. So for A 40,000, for B 30,000, for C 20,000. A's capital account, B's capital account, C's capital account. I hope you understand. So this is no information is provided especially for workman compensation, but we are having reserve. And next one is no claim. Here sometimes claim will come, but here no claims. Nobody is interested because nobody met an accident. So in this situation also same entry will come. All the amounts will be transferred to partner's capital account. Credit side, they will use only existing profit and loss sharing ratio, not new profit and loss sharing ratio. You have to be very clear in it. And next situation is third situation, when a claim on account of workman compensation is 45,000. See, 45,000 only is claim, but reserve we are having 90,000 rupees. So workman's compensation reserve amount 90,000 rupees. Reserve is very important. Reserve and claim. So don't confuse it. Reserve means how much we are having in our hand. Claim means how much we have to pay. How much for their claim we have to pay for them, isn't it? So it is workman compensation reserve amount 90,000. To whom we are going to pay? that is workman's compensation claim, how much amount? 45,000. Then remaining 45,000 will be transferred to partner's capital account to A, to B, to C as per their old profit and loss sharing ratio to their capital account via credit side. We are going to post. How much amount it is? 20, 15, 10. 20,000, 15,000, 10,000. Altogether it is 45,000 and it is 45,000, so 90,000. I hope you understand. And the fourth situation, when a claim on account, workman's compensation is 99,000. So claim is 99,000, isn't it? Claim is 99,000, but how much we are having in our hand? Only 90,000. In this situation, we have to pay more amount because our reserve is insufficient to pay out claim. In this situation, workman's compensation reserve account debtor and revaluation account debtor to workman's compensation reserve. Workman's compensation reserve is 99. Workman's compensation claim account. Workman's compensation claim. We have to pay now. Workman's compensation claim is 99,000. So in this situation, how much we have to pay? That is 99,000. How much we are having in our hand? 90,000 only. So balance 9,000 will be written in debit side of revaluation account, isn't it? Then again we have to pass another one entry because profit or loss, whatever it should be transferred to partner's capital account, credit or debit side. If it is revaluation loss, isn't it? It leads to revaluation loss. So next entry will be, how we will enter? We will enter partner's capital account debtor to revaluation account. That 9,000 will be split and given to all the partners as per their old profit and loss sharing ratio. So A's capital account, B's capital account, C's capital account to revaluation account. How much? 9,000. This 9,000 split and given to partners A, B, C as per their old profit and loss sharing ratio 4:3:2, 4/9, 3/9, 2/9. So amount will be how much? 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. I hope you understand. And last situation is when a claim on account of workman compensation is 90,000, which means exact same, isn't it? How much claim is needed? 90,000. Reserve is 90,000. So no more money is there. So we will not give any money to the partners as per their existing profit and loss sharing ratio. So in this situation, how we will enter the accounts? Workman's compensation reserve to workman's compensation claim. So for your clear cut information, for your better understanding, reserve to claim. Reserve account debtor to claim account. How much amount it is? 90,000. Here also 90,000 because exact 90,000 is essential, isn't it? So workman's compensation is over. You can refer that T.S. Girival's book. From T.S. Girival's book only I taught you. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Don't hesitate to ask. At the same time, same T.S. Girival books have some bunch of questions, especially for workman's compensation and other research also. So one by one we will discuss. Stay tuned. Thank you.